Hi, what's up, everyone? This is Kenny here, your host for Property Story Show podcast. And today I do not have a guest, but today I would like to share with you how I use podcasting to network, to generate leads, and also to build collaboration, to find future collaboration partners also. Okay, so let's start. Before I go on with how I use this, and perhaps we're going to talk about a little bit of context on how podcasting became like a tool for networking, tool for collaboration, or tool for generating leads. You see, last time when you talk about things like business example, okay, I'm in the real estate business. So today, if let's say I want to become a real estate agent, I need to go and find a friend who's a real estate agent and ask, hey, can I just talk to you over the phone, or can I just have coffee? Can I pick your brain? Okay, I would like to explore being a real estate agent. Can I pick your brain, or can we have coffee? Then you go and spend time with this person, right? Yeah. Then what's in it for you? What's in it for the person to spend time with you? You want something. You want something, you go and reach out. But what's in it for the person who you ask? Is there anything in particular? The answer is many times, most of the time, right? You have not much value to offer. Okay? So that's why most of the time you get blue tick and you get ignored. Or you get the person just telling you, I'm busy, sorry, I cannot. Okay? Or before you ask, hey bro, so long never meet you, can we get coffee? They will straight away ask. People ask you, great coffee. Get coffee for what? People will be thinking, oh, you want to sell me insurance, is it? Or you want to sell me MLM, is it? Or some scheme? Huh? Right? So that's the thoughts that's going on the head. Because people always like to use this grab coffee lah, pick your brain lah. Because when they want something, alright? But they didn't think, like, what do they have to offer to that person who's spending time? Is it money? You can offer money, what? Or you can offer to pay for a meal. I got sessions where I go there and actually talk to people of free for the things that they ask, and they didn't even bother paying my drinks, and it's just a plain water, 50-cent plain water. Okay, so after a while, right, I realized that this is not the way lah. If I feel this way, imagine the person that I every time ask. I ask also, okay, but I pay, but sometimes, right. Most of the time I get rejected because I got nothing to offer. Okay, so the person actually need to spend their time to come and meet me, even though yes, I'm paying, but don't think your meal is what you pay is a lot. The person that usually you want to meet, right, the person can pay for themselves. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So the next best thing now is to start a podcast. Imagine today you reach out to the person. You say, instead of saying, can I pick your brain, can we grab coffee? You introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Kenny. I run a business podcast on real estate. So I see that recently that you have won an award for real estate, and also you're earning very good money from real estate, your cars, your house. And I would like to actually sit down and interview you for my podcast. Would you like to come and talk to the audience? Okay? Would you like to come and talk to my audience? Then you show your podcast like previously you did. If you don't have, that's your sales pitch. Okay? Just sales pitch to ask the person to come. That's it. Then let the person decide. Usually, these people, right, they are more than happy to agree with you. Okay? Because when you're doing anything, you're doing business, or you're being a real estate agent, I can tell you, you do not have time for all this. Social media, all this, marketing, all this is everything, the day-to-day operations, especially if you're a solopreneur, is taking out so much of your time. You don't even have time to think of all this content and all. You'll be more than happy to accept the invitation to a person to just go on a podcast, talk about things that you know. You don't have to prepare. It's your life story, how you did it, that's it. Okay, so you can try that. That is the reason why we start a podcast. That is the reason why podcasting, right, is the new networking tool. Okay. Second is you need to take care of your guests. What I mean by take care of your guests, most of the time I see podcasters, right, when they interview the guest after that, right, I'm not sure whether there's any interaction with the guest or not. Like for example, I knew that property investing is a very, very hot topic. So what I did was that after the interview, I sent him some data, like first week how many views, second week how many views, and then the retention. Actually, podcasting is a very good retention. People spend more time listening to a podcast than watching videos, because podcasts, when you can listen, you don't need to watch. So a lot of people, they listen to podcasts when they are driving to work or driving to somewhere. That's why podcasting is very popular. Okay, and you spend a lot of time. The person actually you listen to spend a lot of time in your head. They really get influenced easy. Okay, so I digress. Back to William. So William from Property Buddy, I sent him this data. Okay, you need to take care of guests, as in you need to show your guests, right, their time matters. So I showed him the data. I showed him how many people, how many views he get, how many listens he get. And it's also feedback. Like feedback, right? The previous guest I interviewed was an SEO writer, a freelance writer. His name is Kenny also. I got a good feedback from the video, right? I just screenshot the feedback I sent to him. I say, see, got some people actually listen, tune in, and actually appreciate all this. So that's what I mean by take care of your guests. Okay, then your guests, right, make their life easy for them lah. If you can, or not if you can, I highly suggest that you actually start a podcast with something that you just have like a phone like this, because you got mobile. Okay, like mobile, easy to start. You can go to the site, the guest site. Okay, or if you do not want to start with your phone, you can also use software. Now there's a lot of software that can record webcam and mic over the computer. But I would highly recommend that you actually do it in person. Nothing beats in-person interaction, seriously. I really like in-person interaction. The ones over the PC one doesn't really sit well with me unless it's outstation or overseas. But that is another story. Okay? So take care of your guests. The third one is to give analytics and feedbacks. That one I mentioned earlier. So send them analytics and feedback. Show them that the views matter. Okay? Then the next one is you involve your audience. Yeah, I might not say it. Involve your audience. So whenever I talk to a guest on podcast, it's actually things that I personally want to learn, and also the audience ask me. Sometimes I cannot answer, and I don't know everything. There are so many people that is more expert than me. So I myself want to learn. So that's why I ask the audience. I work, right, in my work and course of real estate work. I encounter some questions that the audience ask that I cannot answer. I ask on the podcast. So that's how I involve the audience. So when you involve the audience, right, you actually foster a stronger collaboration and also generate more leads for all parties. So I give you an example. For example, today I talked to William. A very simple question: how much we should budget for renovation? That is something a lot of investors want to know. Okay, because every contractor, every investor is different. So I asked that question so that people who resonate with his message, William's message, will find Property Buddy. That's why I leave the link. So I asked that question also because I knew that I can actually build a team collaboration with Property Buddy. That's what I do. Okay, so that's why there's a link down there. And when you do this, right, you inevitably create the next ball rolling. Then the conversation will flow very natural. That because the audience will want to know more. Why you say this percentage, example 10%? Why you say 10%? Can't I do it by 5%? So we need to talk about this. We can go down the rabbit hole, even deeper, even more detailed. And then people who resonate with the message again will find Property Buddy to do their inspection, to do their work for them. Okay? And Property Buddy also will be working closely with me. Okay? Next time I also got any work, I also can find them. Okay? The next point is something of a favorite of mine. You notice, right, when you first starting invite people, a lot of people will tell you they are shy, they are not ready. It's normal. It's not everybody can actually just sit down, come here and sit down and be on camera or talk. So it's okay. But sometimes these people, they just want to see how far you go and how you do. Okay, which is normal. A lot of people actually quit very early. Like podcasts have less than 10 episodes. I think 90% of it, the last stats I read from US, I think 90% of the podcasts have less than 10 episodes. Okay, if you have more than 20, you are like the top 5% of podcasts already. So it's not easy to maintain. So coming back to this, imagine today I use William as an example. Today I introduced William as a contractor, renovation contractor. So my question to you is this: if I invited many contractors, renovation contractors, and William is the first one to come on board, what do you think will happen to the other renovation contractors that's watching this channel, example? Okay? Or I invite another $1 million agent and came on the channel. What do you think will happen to others who are listening and tuning into the podcast? They will have the FOMO feeling, right? FOMO, right? So they themselves will be like, hey Kenny, when you want to do a podcast? They themselves will come to me, right? And say they want to do a podcast. So that's how you actually build your network from there. And then from here also, every guest, you can, like I mentioned just now, you can actually build the collaboration and refer leads to each other. It can be money, it can be also in the form of referral. It can be money, it can be non-money, also no problem. Okay? But there is a kind of a collaboration and kind of networking, and you also build that kind of relationship. That's why when I do my podcast, I like to sit down like this, right across the table with the person and then talk. Of course, we stay within the topic. There's somehow that kind of relationship where you build face to face is different from online and over the phone. It cannot be relationship and in person and online. In person is so much stronger. Next, right, as a host myself, I also must promote the podcast. So I actually did like a small write-up. Every podcast, right, I do a small write-up and promote it to all my networks, okay? Not just on YouTube, but everywhere. Because I want a maximum reach. I want a maximum reach so that I also want to show the guests, right, that they matter. Their time matter. So I want to do it properly. I ask for photos. I ask for a write-up, like a life story. But I don't give questions beforehand now because I want to talk to them straight away on the spot. And I don't follow like one by one question like an interview, Sometimes I will listen and then catch one. Then because it's all out of my curiosity, so it's something that I'm curious, even though it sounds very basic, and a lot of people will say, for lack of better word, it's a stupid question. I will still ask anyway, okay? Because to me, there's no such thing as stupid question. If I don't know, then I ask, okay? So that is how I make sure that I promote host my valuable. Then the next one, right? Podcast is actually a long form content, especially video podcasts. You know that the longevity is such that your reach, you can actually expand your reach so much by just cutting the videos into small pieces. Okay? So when you cut to these small pieces, you are also expanding your networking, correct? Because when you cut to small, like let's just say you cut to 60-second video, you put on IG Reels, you put on YouTube Shorts, you put on Facebook Reels, you put on TikTok. These people that don't know you will start finding you. So people will know you. Okay? People will know you, people will know your guests, and then they will start once they are comfortable, they will start inquire. Hey, Kenny, what do you sell? Hey, Kenny, I got a property to sell. Can you actually help me to sell a property? So that is where the leads will come. And now one more thing about repurposing content that I don't see that many creators do is to start a clips channel. If you see the big podcast, Diary of a CEO, like by Steve Bartlett, they have one main channel, right? Then they have the DOAC clips. DOAC clips. There's two channels, So the clips, right? They usually will put videos that is less than 10 minutes because the podcast can be like 3 hours long, and then the clips will be videos of 10 minutes or below. That is something I don't see a lot of creators are doing, especially locally. So that is something you can also do. You can put it on YouTube, start another YouTube channel, like a property story show clip. Then The best part is you put in landscape form, right? Down there, you can put a link. You can put a referral link. Then you will give more exposure to your guests. More exposure means what? More exposure means more conversion. More conversion means more fees for you. If you are taking referral fees, if you are taking referrals, it'll be more leads for them, more leads for you. So it's a win-win situation. Okay? So these are the suggestions that I have for you and how I personally use podcasting for networking to generate leads and also to foster collaboration and also get future collaboration. Okay, so I hope it helps. This is Kenny here from Probably Story Show Podcast, and I'll see you again next episode. Bye-bye.